and just a couple of more minutes. We'll wait for all the students to join in, and then we'll begin shortly. Thank you.
Ismail sir, very good morning. Dr. Uday Patkar here.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome on the behalf of Department of Computer Engineering as well as
Happy to be here, sir. I'm audible clearly.
Yes, sir, you are.
lovely Pune sir.
Sir, we'll just give the students 5 minutes. They all will be joining in, and then we'll begin if that's no issue with you. Yes, very good morning to one and all. Exactly at 11:05, we'll begin with the session. Till then, we are still waiting for all the students to join in, and at exactly 11:05, we'll begin with our session. Thank you. Okay, so once again, a very good morning everyone. So we'll start with the session now, and we let all the students join in when they come. So yes, today it's a very, yeah, I would say it marks a very historic beginning to one of the greatest collaboration, and it is between the Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, that is SCEI, and Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Lovely, in developing the entrepreneurship skills and the entrepreneurship uh, manner of both the colleges. And one of the main purpose for this MOU was, to develop the students of both the sides in cultivating the entrepreneurship culture, the ideas, and to nurture them into, helping them become, rather than job seekers, the job givers and job creators. So today it marks a really historic day because this is the first session that will be done in collaboration with Symbiosis and Bharati Vidyapeeth Lovely, to begin with this. So today I would first of all like to introduce our guests of honor. So today we have with us Professor Yogesh sir, Professor Ismail sir, and Snehal ma'am from Symbiosis joining us. And I would just like to give a very brief introduction about our guests of honor. So, beginning with Professor Yogesh Brahmankar sir. So, his designation at Symbiosis, he is the CEO of SCEI, that is Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and he's a entrepreneurship educator and trainer. He's mentor in the field of innovation, and he's also a TRIZ Level 1 certified professional and master trainer for startups. He holds a master's degree in management from the Mumbai University and bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Pune University. Then he has also worked with the Department of Defense Production, that is the Government of India, in the field of quality assurance. He has over 11 years of industry um, experience in the field of quality assurance and over 10 years of teaching experience in premier business schools, including his 6 years tenure as at Symbiosis. Then the other trainer that we have with us today is Professor Ismail Akhwani. He is currently associated as the head of Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation Cell, that is the SCEI, and he is also a faculty member in the Mechanical Engineering and the head of Entrepreneurship Cell at Symbiosis. The Entrepreneurship and Promotion Cell is established by the SIT in 2014 and has been awarded as the best e-cell at national level multiple times. And our professor was one of the key members to help achieve this accreditation for the entrepreneurship cell at SIT. And then Professor Ismail was selected as faculty research fellow in strategy and innovation at Department of MGMT Studies, IIT Delhi in 2019. He is also accredited as master trainer for entrepreneurship motivation training by NIESBUD, that is for Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship of the Government of India Cell. He is also been trained and certified as Design Thinking Master Practitioner from SDTP UK, Design Thinking Felicitator from the USA, and Six Sigma Black Belt MSME Tech from Development Center. And Professor Ismail has been he has a very keen interest in understanding the human behavior, and he is also a certified neuro linguistic programming master practitioner, and currently he is pursuing his PhD degree on design interventions for promotion of grassroots entrepreneurship from IIT Delhi. So we have wonderful guests of honor who will be guiding us today and all the students in the future. So I would like to invite Professor Ismail if he could please come forward and take the session in his more than capable of hands, and please guide us, sir.
Okay, I hope I'm audible clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Joseph, if I'm not pronouncing your name right, right?
Yes.
Great. So, and as promised, I have already transferred 2,000 rupees through you to you through Google Pay for all the good words that you said. So that was the deal. Joseph and I had that for every good word he speaks in my praise, he gets 50 rupees, right? And I was counting the number of adjectives and good things he said about me, and the total amount comes out to be 2,150 rupees. You'll get it in your Google Pay. Cool. But good morning, everyone, and happy to have you like over 107 over here. So, right, first session of this collaboration, we already crossed a century. Right, that's a good number, good, and that actually kudos to the team at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Lovely. As I've been already introduced, I'm Ismail Akbani, and I head innovation and linkages at Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. We are not just another institute, but we are a technology business incubator, wherein our primary role is to work closely with startups. Currently, we are working with more than 30 startups that are a part of our center, and plus almost more than 50 other startups, women entrepreneurs that are a part of our extended network, helping them in various stages of their startup journey. And that's what we do as our main function over here. In addition, of course, we help youngsters, aspiring entrepreneurs, students, and even a lot of seasoned corporate professionals who want to shift from their corporate career to entrepreneurship journey. So we handhold and support them through training programs, mentoring, guidances, and network connect and things like that. And I'm happy that we have had this collaboration with your institute. I think a couple of weeks ago, your principal was here on our campus, and a couple of other faculty members were also here. And we have signed this MOU with your institute. Where as a part of the MOU, because over years we have developed certain capacity, certain skill sets, certain expertise in the area of promotion of entrepreneurship, and we thought why not collaborate with institutes around us and help them with our capabilities. So whatever we have learned, whatever experience we have, whatever network we have gathered, we're going to be using that to help promote entrepreneurship in your campus. I'm so happy already to know that you got a very amazing, very highly functional institutions innovation council, and I was told that you guys had 4.5 stars last year, which is really a commendable job, right? 4.5 stars in the ISC. That's really good. And then I was also told that you have been selected as a mentor institute, which means that your institute is now going to be mentoring 5 other colleges, and their innovation consists on how do they promote innovation entrepreneurship, right? So this is something I think every faculty, every student of the institute must feel proud about, because this is a very big deal. And out of I think more than 1,500 innovation councils across the country, hardly 40 or 50 were selected as mentor institutes, and you are one of them, right? So that's a big achievement. I'm so happy that we are collaborating with such an institute. Now, the goal for this session is going to be conducted jointly by me and my colleague, Professor Yogesh Brahmankar, who was also introduced, but he's occupied with something else right now. We're sitting in the same office, so he's just separated from me by a sheet of thin 2 glass. But he's actually occupied in the meetings. He'll be joining us in between, and he'll also take some part of the session. The goal here, the topic theme that we have been given was that we said we'll talk about entrepreneurship as a career path, right? And the reason we wanted to talk about this is I know we're talking to engineering students, and when you talk to engineering students or even any non-management, non-MBA people out there, the first question is that no, we are law students, we are medical students, we are engineering students. Why talk about entrepreneurship to us? We came here to learn engineering and get a good job. We came here to learn law. We came here to learn about media communication, get a good job, right? And that's one thing that we're going to address. But before I go ahead, I got 2 requests, right? And if I'm allowed to, I got 2 very small requests, right? In fact, one is a very big ask, one is small. One is, I have this, what I can say, limitation, if you may call it, yeah, a bad habit, bol lo, right? That unless I see some activity in the chat box, I'm not sure if the participants, if they have access to chat box, unless I see some activity in the chat box, at least out of 100 plus people, at least 20-25 messages in the chat box, right? तब तक mood नहीं बनता है मेरा. And second is I need to see some faces on the screen.
Why the cameras are off? Good morning,
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
Yogesh Brahmankar
Yes.
here.
Yogesh also has joined, right? He's joined.
Very good morning, sir. Welcome.
So
Morning.
yes, that was the second request where I was coming, that I need to see some faces on the screen. I mean, I know Jose looks good and smart and is very good looking and all. Nothing, no problem. I know, but कितना टाइम एक ही बंदे को देख के मैं सेशन दूंगा ना मैम, ठीक है. So we need some more faces. Dr. Nidhi Jain has also joined. Okay, ma'am, I could see Uday Patkar ji also. Oh, that amazing mask. वो आपकी पहचान
Good
है.
morning, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Good to see you after long.
Good
And
morning.
good morning, Professor Uday also is here. But from the student side also, if we
Very
can
good morning,
some people turn on the camera. I mean, people who are confident कि नहीं, I look reasonably good. मतलब इतना भी नहीं है कि मेरे को देख के लोगों का दिन मनुष्य चला जाए. ऐसा कोई अगर है तो ठीक है. Otherwise, right? Very good. I think Sajan has turned the camera on. Oh, Prajakta ma'am is also here. Okay, interesting. So now see, अब थोड़ा सा लग रहा है कि हम किसी दुनिया में, वरना अभी तक ऐसा फीलिंग कि मार्स पे चले गए, आसपास कुछ नहीं है, रेगिस्तान में बोले जा रहे हैं. So great. So let's since Yogesh sir also has joined over here, let's start with it. Snehal was here. I think Snehal is going to share the PPT. Snehal, you have the PPT ready? Snehal. Yeah, she's sharing. Yes. Can you just put it on the full screen?
Students are not having access to camera.
Oh, students don't have access to camera. Can we give access to camera? I mean, come on.
I don't know.
हाँ नहीं.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ready from the organization, ऐसा ना करो बच्चों के साथ में यार.
Imagine सुबह जो दूध वाला दूध डालने आता है या दूध लेते हो बुर्का पहन के आता है and then so it's
So, but no, please give access, chat access also. And I normally a lot of times we don't give the access of chat also to students. क्योंकि डर होता है as a faculty को डर होता है कि ये लोग कुछ उल्टा सीधा लिखेंगे and all. We want to maintain the discipline, but this is one session where I don't want discipline. Right? जितना chaos होता है, जितना mess spread होता है, उन्हें तो right. हम लोग के पास बाहर ही झाड़ू रखा है बहुत बड़ा. Right? And मेरे को मजा आता है झाड़ू मारने में. तो अगर chaos होगा, गड़बड़ होगा, कचरा फैलेगा, हम साफ कर लेंगे. Don't worry. Right? So give them access to the chat box, give them access to the video, and let's have a very indisciplined, very chaotic, very messy, very unstructured session, right?
yeah, we are not the placement related guests or dignitaries or so yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. And normally, so when Yogesh sir and I, we go to any place, any institute for a session, हमारा होता है कि एक बार चले गए, एक ही बार जा रहा है, बार बार जा रहा भी नहीं इस कॉलेज में. तो we don't have any worry कि यार कुछ हम बोलेंगे, अगली बार नहीं बुलाएंगे, अगली बार हमने जाना भी नहीं वैसे भी.
Professor Prajakta madam, please do the needful.
Yeah. Okay, Snehal, you can start sharing the screen. Let's move ahead. अभी आ रहा था Snehal. I was able to see your PPT. Now
Yes, I was
don't
able
share
to
the entire screen. Just share the window of the because मेरे Teams में कुछ issue है. I'm unable to share the screen actually. मेरे Teams के अंदर.
oh my god. Okay.
First year induction program, means like we are going to invite you in first year induction program also.
Then we'll have ma'am, just let me know 1 week before because I have to put some makeup and change my looks and all so that people don't recognize me.
Yeah. Actually, you have to inform me also, all the ladies faculty especially, sir. So like, see, we are very much conscious about the looks, and you spontaneously said that, madam, please switch on your camera. So it's like
That's
not
good
fair
point.
from our side.
Ma'am, we are going to. After this session, I'm going to modify the draft of the MOU. MOU में जो terms and condition के अंदर एक condition ये भी add होने वाला. Faculty should always be ready to turn their camera. Otherwise, we'll cancel the MOU.
Snehal, can we go to full screen?
On the basis of look, please do not cancel the MOU and all.
Yes. So welcome once again. And as I said, we both of us are yes. Snehal, I think Snehal is going to be sharing the screen. Just put it on the on full screen and just let's move on to the next screen quickly.
नहीं हो रहा है शायद.
Sorry. मेरे यहाँ पे भी I don't know. मेरे उसमें Teams के अंदर I'm unable to मेरा screen. I'm not able to share the window. पूरा screen share हो रहा है. वो screen के अंदर फिर becomes very पूरा Teams दिखेगा अलग से. By the way, meanwhile, ma'am, this session is still what 12 or 12:30?
Prajakta ma'am, this session for like 12:30.
12:30. Okay. So maybe I think Yogesh, while she's saying the PPT, you can move ahead with that the first slide that you even talk about why problems and why entrepreneurship and all.
Can you see the PPT now?
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming up. Great. So yes, Neil, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, no, I'm sharing it now.
So you are sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I was already talking about. SCI. This is this is our website. Screenshot of our website. These are things we do. We'll share the link also, and we highly encourage all of you to go to the website of SCI and see what are the facilities that we are providing, what support system we can provide. Because as a partner now, most of the services that we provide here to Symbiosis students is accessible to Bharati Vidyapeeth Lavla campus students as well. Right? It's all thanks to.
There is a saying, grass on the other side is always green. So in terms of Bharati and Symbiosis, especially SCI incubator, it is true. Means grass on this side is actually green, especially when it comes to incubator. Yeah. and that is where. So I'm not selling SCI. Okay, we need not. But let's go ahead.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is about me, so I'll skip this. Yeah.
Okay. Next, this I think
This is about Ismail.
we can
Let's
skip.
skip this.
We can skip the introduction slides. I think already लंबा चौड़ा introduction हो दे चुका है, पैसा भी ले चुका है उसका वजह से.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both of us have been promoting. So I will just means while skipping, like I'll just do that. So you can see Ismail appearing on Times of India or so many places and say, yeah, across length and breadth of India, he has been training trainers or the faculty members in entrepreneurship or so. Yeah, and I think how I got in touch with Bharti is that I'm a mentor on National Innovation Contest of Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, and that's how there is one student Songire, he got in touch with faculty. Yeah, that's how it happened. So let's start with why entrepreneurship, why we are here, why we are in between you and your Diwali vacation or so. And so let's have some more details on entrepreneurship. Most of engineers nowadays, I don't know what's the thing, but at our time engineering was still a good education. Nowadays it has become basic education. But normally people say, okay, can I get a job? Parents are looking at those kind of things. Yeah, somebody is unmuted. Can I request, please? Mute. Yeah, somebody's unmuted. Uh, I don't know. Ismail is not having kids, so I don't. There's no doubt that the noise is coming from his end. Yeah, let's go ahead. So normally parents are expecting engineers or the graduating students, or that you go and go to Pune, Mumbai, and work for organizations. So we are not between you and your career as an employee. Uh, if you look at the slide, Howard Graduate School of Education and National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship in the United States, they found that youth who are taught about entrepreneurship show a positive change in attitude and strong success orientation, and more likely to be focused on academic and professional achievements. And I'm sure every teacher in this engineering college and every parent of whoever is attending this session would like to see this change in attitude and success orientation in their kids, whatever endeavors they are into or whatever they try to pursue future. So entrepreneurship should not be looked at an opposite, or what you can say, what it is called an antonym to placements. Okay, I don't know, means a lot of English grammar like that, but I will call it as an maybe enemy of placements. In fact, we are enablers in many ways. That is what. So if you are very keen, Ismail हमेशा बोलता है कि अगर आपने कसम भी खा के रखी कि हमारे 7 पुश्तों में 7 जन्मों तो कोई एंटरप्रेन्योर नहीं बनेगा, this session might be still relevant for you. Yeah. So let's go ahead and discuss a couple of things. And here we would like to have people. I hope the IT team has helped us by unmuting or enabling the chat. And Ismail, I need your help for chat because I can't skip the screen. But people can still raise hand and unmute themselves and answer this question: why to work on new ideas? Yeah, please go and shoot your answers in the chat box as well. You can unmute and say.
I think chat access is there for the participants, so they can at least type in the chat box. So unmute me. There were some people who were getting unmuted, so I'm sure that you have the access to unmute your mic. So this session, we don't want this to be a monologue, right? If it was only for us to speak, then we did not have to come over here. We have a recording. पिछले session का भेज देते हैं, मैडम को बोलते हैं कभी अपने फुर्सत से play कर देना, right? So let's not make this like another YouTube video, but let's have some interaction. So in the chat box, can I see some responses? Yes.
कितने लोग जिंदा है सेशन में?
Okay, Shubham is awake and alive. To make some, so Shubham is saying to make some good changes in the society. Good, interesting. Anyone else? Why do you need to work on ideas, new ideas? Come on, how many people do we have in this channel? We have like more than 100 people, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 150 participants. Wow.
Wow. Nobody's unmuting and saying why to work on new ideas.
Yes, sir, may I go ahead?
Please
Actually,
say
I
your
had raised
feedback,
my
go ahead.
hand, yeah. Sir, one of the main reasons for new ideas or new innovation that we can see is um, like to make the world much better day by day, because every day we want to make up something that will make our lives much more stress free, and it will reduce our workload. So one of the main reasons what I feel for the need of new ideas is a constant upgradation that is required, and to have a much more stress free environment around.
Okay. Okay. Next, say your name and the answer. Go ahead. New ideas which help the society. Uday is saying, Yash is saying, and as a result, get more profits and simplify home complex task.
Interesting. To solve problems that make people's life easier. That's so close. That's so.
Wow. So here I have an attaching means next question, which is aligning on the same lines. Why are entrepreneurs required? Anyone? Why are entrepreneurs required? कितने लोग जिंदा है सेशन में?
Sir, if I may speak, entrepreneurs are required because every one person has their own unique way of solving a particular problem, and the need of entrepreneurs is, like as you mentioned earlier, that we don't have to run behind jobs always. We can be the one who creates the job, and entrepreneur can do both. They can even help the society in terms of economic growth, and as well as have their own unique touch to the world in their own terms.
Great, great. Anyone else would like to add to this and extend this particular thing? Innovative new things. Uday is answering again. Good.
Sir, I am Shubham Songire.
Yes,
Sir, my view is that means government cannot provide all the things to the peoples. So entrepreneurs are the who ones who can give new things to the society through their ideas.
yes. Great, great, Shubham. A great entrepreneur must be able to effectively communicate, sell, focus, learn, and strategize. Vaibhav is saying new wealth and services be created. And I must congratulate Shubham because this collaboration is a result of Shubham's initiative. Thank you, Shubham, for this particular thing. And your college institute also.
Thank,
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you so much.
So see, entrepreneurs are like soldiers. We are here in country. हम लोग मजा मस्ती करते हैं, weekend celebrate करते हैं. We go to Konkan, Goa. Soldiers are there on borders, and we used to say that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he was fighting for the society, and we had Bhagat Singh. What entrepreneurs are like these people. They're required, but हमारे घर में नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, बाजू वाले घर में से आना चाहिए. Somebody should protect the society. Somebody should work for society. Entrepreneurs की requirement ऐसी है हमारी. That's the mindset society is carrying, and that's where I see that we should discuss more, and we should break some myths. Yeah, and as some of you rightly said here in the chat box and here that entrepreneurs are required, yeah, to create a positive change in society. As Shubham was mentioning, government can't do anything. If you look at who we are, people who can go ahead and contribute some of our new innovative ideas and make some difference in our society, making life easier, better, better. You already said. I would just invite you to something. What I'm calling tipping point is you are in second year, third year engineering. You people, I call this as a mobile generation or smartphone. You have seen your smartphones maybe in your fifth standard or so, or like that. Look, but still look at the life 15 years back and look at life today in the same city, Pune, or whichever city you belong to, whichever place you belong to. Life has completely changed, and we are consuming so many new products and services. And I always say that half of them are here in this mobile phone. Half of them we use mobile phone to consume those products and services in day-to-day routine. And that is what I say the complete change in the life. But at the same time, another side of tipping point is that everybody is coming and starting supporting young, innovative minds, engineering college students, management college students, and you can work on new ideas. We are supporting, like some of you participated in national innovation competition by Ministry of Education. Some of you are part of Smart Hackathon. Some of you filed patents working with professors in college. That is what Professor Uday Patkar was sharing. So we are talking about entrepreneurship. There are incubators, there are investors coming up, banks, nationalized banks, traditional banks, those who are known for their very orthodox pattern of services. They have opened up their doors for startups funding without collateral. Startup India is coming. Maharashtra Innovation Society is there. So what is all this happening, which was not happening 20 years back? That is what I call tipping point. Everywhere you see a lot of support is being gathered to promote, because reason that we need entrepreneurs. We have to solve the current problem. We need new products and solutions and services. And that's how the society grows, and economic cycle will also grow. Yeah. And that's how it becomes maybe Atmanirbhar Bharat or so, like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead. It's just a snapshot of Startup India, and how many startups which have come in 2020. 3061, 1600 plus tech startups, 66 unicorns, and 28 in first quarter of 2021. Now I think we are in third quarter now. Yeah. And so many incubators. So this is just a snapshot. I think Professor Ismail has mentioned the resource also. Yeah. Look at these numbers. And I'm inviting you to think, you are in one of the best engineering colleges. You are in best of the best cities in Pune, India. Are we part of such numbers? Would you like to see yourself in the next year's data? Because एक बार करके देखना है. Somewhere we have to break the silos. Somewhere we have to come out of comfort zone and see, okay, I would like to see myself in these numbers in 2023. That feeling is required. Yeah. And why to go so far? Like I was sharing, the grass on the other side, especially for Lovely Hills, is actually green. Yeah. Our two startups, like I was just talking to Rishabh when I was logging in this meeting. He said, "Sir, we are hiring, and I can actually hire from Symbiosis, and I need your help from another startup in SCEI, which is actually in the field of hiring. We have a startup called My Job Factory, run by one very senior HR professional, and I'm just trying to connect him. So this Rishabh is actually a Zwing ERP software, which company got acquired before he sold any product or service. He was acquired by another company called Genie for 20 crores. Would you like to have this life?" And he was like simple like you, only on this side of field. 2017 graduated engineering student from Symbiosis Technology, just motivated by somebody like Professor Ismail Akbani. Yeah. And then he pursued, he made a software program, and he was just trying to sell that, and somebody connected him to a right place where he got hired. He's still the CEO of the company, running that venture with a very big company. Our own startup, Is Buds, what you see at the bottom, was featured in your story because they got funded 30 crore. Their valuation today is now more than 100 crores. Today their valuation somewhere around 120 crores. Yeah. So we should not like आसपास examples नहीं देखते. We should be very open to see some examples, and you will see some examples in your own college if you start pursuing the right things in the right direction. Yeah, so these are the unicorns which we were talking about, the numbers in this. And with this, I think I would like to invite Professor Ismail Akbani to take this ahead.
Great. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Yogesh sir. And I hope by now we have set up certain context, the very background at why we are here, and it's very important to understand that, right? Because unless you know the why part of it, everything else that follows does not matter. I don't know why I'm unable to see the chat. Yes. So what you see on the slide again is a very important aspect of being an entrepreneur. That Professor Yogesh was entrepreneur thinking process, right? It looks like a very simple diagram, but if you look on the slide, I hope that the slide is properly visible. On the left side is problem, and the other side is opportunity, and there's a balance, right? So what this slide essentially means is that every problem can be a potential opportunity, right? And when on the journey to entrepreneurship, the path to entrepreneurship, on the journey to a startup venture, right? Problems are your best friends. When I say problems are your best friend, of course, not all the problems, but problems around you. And how do you start? How do you look after? Come up with a business idea. How do you come up with a idea for innovation? The best thing we always talk about is that look around for problems, right? And there is no shortage of problems around us, right? And just to give you an example that I created a few weeks ago, I was delivering a session, and somehow somebody asked this to expand on this, and I said, okay, let me explain an example. Let's say now you guys are obviously senior students, right? But your semester starts, for example. This is the first week of your semester, and you are sitting in the class, and some faculty, maybe Dr. Nidhi Jain or Professor Uday, walks into the class, right? Teaches a topic that is he or she is supposed to teach on Monday morning, and then gives you an assignment. And it's your first year student. Let's say your first year student, first semester, first week of the college. And the faculty comes in, teaches a topic, gives an assignment, and that assignment is not a assignment that you can copy paste. It's not a say 5 questions that answer this question, describe this. No, it's an assignment that where you actually required to come up with a case study or something, right? So you actually have to go dig deep. I know every individual is supposed to submit a different case study. You cannot copy it from your friends. You cannot find the answers ready-made on Google. You will not find the answers in the books or any videos. खुद का दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. That's the kind of assignment that is being given for 15 marks. But the deadline he gives is 24 hours. So 3 p.m. Monday after the class happens, I said Tuesday 3 p.m. the assignment is due. If you submit after 3 p.m., I'll deduct you 50% marks. And what happens? 3 p.m. you use assignment, 5 till 5 p.m. you're in lectures, 5:30 you go back home. If it's offline, even if it's online, you close your all the daily online classes. Now what happens? If your class WhatsApp group, you start seeing messages on the WhatsApp group, right? All in तारीफ of Professor Uday. कितना बढ़िया फैकल्टी है, कितना मजेदार फैकल्टी है, 24 घंटे का ही डेडलाइन देता है सिर्फ, राइट? आई लव प्रोफेसर उदय सो मच, राइट? आई वांट ऑल ऑफ अस वांटिंग टीचर्स एवरी सेमेस्टर, राइट? ऐसे होता है ना, पूरे तारीफ के फूल बन रहे हैं लोग, तो उनको अमेज़न गिफ्ट वाउचर भेजने की बातें कर रहे हैं, दिवाली हैप्पी दिया जाएगा कि सर ने इतना शॉर्ट नोटिस पे दिया, राइट? एंड टिल मिडनाइट most of the classes, out of 60 students in the class, 55 at least would be complaining, would be talking about कि कैसे होगा 24 hours में थोड़ी हो पाता है, सर को समझ में नहीं आता है कि कैसे मैं रिसर्च करूंगा, how am I going to study, where will I find the data, and then I have to make a report, and then I have to make a PPT, and all these things in 24 hours. This faculty has gone crazy, and somebody saying let's talk to the HOD, somebody saying let's write a mail to the principal, let's complain here, let's do this, let's do that, right? Some of you actually try and contact Professor Uday and request, sir, can you please extend the deadline, and he says no. No means no, because वो अभी पिंग देख कर आए तो बड़ा इंप्रेस है अमिताभ बच्चन से, तो उन्होंने सीधा बोल दिया no means no, 3 p.m. is 3 p.m. कोई एक्सटेंशन नहीं मिलेगा. Now what happens? रात में 12-1-2 बजे तक तो सारे कंप्लेंट में लगे पड़े, सुबह 8 बजे उठ के ना पेपर रियलाइज किया ये तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं, 3 बजे तक नहीं सबमिट किया, 50% मार्क्स कट जाएंगे. Now 8, 9 a.m. and then 10 a.m. you got class, so then you start working on it. लेक्चर ऑनलाइन लॉगिन किया, यहाँ पे वो कोई फैकल्टी आ रहा है अपना, दे आर टेकिंग द लेक्चर्स, वो चल रहा है पैरेलल में, साइड बाय साइड टाइम मिनिमाइज करके आप गूगल पे यूर सर्चिंग, यूर क्रिएटिंग अ वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट, यूर क्रिएटिंग अ पीपीटी, पीडीएफ, समहाउ कुछ तो करके नो फॉर द नेम से करके असाइनमेंट 255 259 को यू सबमिट, राइट? कभी कभी 301 हो जाएगा, देन यू राइट अ मेल, सर मेरा इंटरनेट कनेक्शन नहीं था, सॉरी आई सबमिटेड 5 मिनट्स लेट, प्लीज कंसीडर, यू नो मुकेश अंबानी को मेरे ही एरिया से कुछ नफरत हो गई, एग्जैक्टली उस टाइम पे उसने मेरा जियो बंद कर दिया because he did not want me to get good marks and all those things. But in all this thing that's happening, that's a huge problem from the perspective of a student. But there are 2-3 students in the very same class. And when they look at the WhatsApp group, they see an opportunity. They see that 95% of my class is creeping. 95% of my class is complaining, they are not starting to work, और ये कल सुबह तक करेंगे भी नहीं, और ये सिर्फ कंप्लेंट कर रहे हैं, फैकल्टी की कंप्लेंट, टॉपिक की कंप्लेंट, कॉलेज की कंप्लेंट, पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम की कंप्लेंट निकाल देते हैं यार, रात भर में पूरा न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बना लेता है क्लास व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे बैठ के. What this guy or girl does is he or she knows कि 3 बजे सर एक्सटेंशन देने वाला है नहीं, सबमिट तो करना ही है, let me start working right now, and that student starts working right at 5 p.m. 6 p.m. 7 p.m. in the evening, and he knows, he or she understands that everybody else is going to do a very poor, very shabby, very ugly, very below average job, right? If I even do an average job, I'll end up getting good marks, the best marks, and वही होता है. सबने कचरा बना के सबमिट किया है, ये जो स्टूडेंट है, he or she submits just average work and ends up getting full marks because it was still better than a lot of other people. That's the mindset, right? He or she looks for an opportunity over there also. Okay, सब नहीं कर, let me do थोड़ा सा better, let me get the marks.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So you're not audible. I think there's some issue with your mic.
Okay.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. So anybody else has an issue with my voice?
Sir,
No, sir, no problem at all, sir.
No, sir.
I'm able to hear your voice.
No problem.
Maybe it's your internet connection, right? देख लो, मुकेश अंबानी ने कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं
Sir,
की.
please check your mic. Maybe there's a problem in your mic only.
So anyways, just check it out. So that's the process, mindset that we talk about. When an entrepreneur sees problems, everybody else sees a problem, and entrepreneur is somebody who says, okay, what's the opportunity I have over here, right? And that brings us to the next question. Who is an entrepreneur? Because there's this debate that always happens that, no, what's the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur? And I used to face this problem a lot whenever I used to go to talk about entrepreneurship. And then one of our good friends, Arjun Panchal, probably you'll meet him also someday. I saw a slide over in his presentation and we copied it from his presentation. We can move on to the next slide. Next slide is so self-explanatory. If you see on the left, right, the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur, right? A conventional businessman or somebody with a conventional MBA degree or conventional commerce or management degree, management education, that mindset, that's how we will do business, converting $1 into $1.5. Somebody with the mindset of an entrepreneur would convert that very $1 raw material input into $5. Right? And that is what we want you guys to become. That is what we expect. Okay? Irrespective of what you do, you may become entrepreneurs, you may go to work for some company, right? But what company would not want somebody who can convert $1 into $5 over somebody who can convert $1 into $1.5? Right? And that's the attitude, that's the mindset, that's the skill set, right? That's the way of looking at life that we at SCA and even your institute now are looking to promote and kind of trying to imbibe in you guys. The right side, if you see, there's a very important one of my favorite quotes comes from Peter Drucker, who is known as the father of modern management. And he says that entrepreneurship is not magic, it's not mysterious, or has nothing to do with genes. It's a discipline. And like any discipline, it can be learned. But there's another question, I'm sure some of you might be thinking it right now. In fact, some of my faculty colleagues on this call from Bharati Vidyapit, they might also have this hesitation, this reluctance. Can entrepreneurship be taught? I mean, come on, entrepreneurship is something that people have. वो तो अंदर से आना चाहिए. How can you teach somebody to be an entrepreneur? And there are two schools of thoughts. One school of thought says this: yes, entrepreneurship can be taught, and that is why there are so many departments of entrepreneurship coming up, so many centers for entrepreneurship. The government is giving crores of grants for institutes and incubators and centers and research in entrepreneurship because they believe that yes, it can be taught. But then there are others who say, it cannot be taught. It has to come from within. Right? And that segment, that school of thought, people from there, they have a very common example. उठा के धीरूभाई अंबानी को आगे कर देते कि धीरूभाई अंबानी कहाँ पढ़ के आए? Right? Where did Dhirubhai Ambani learn entrepreneurship? Where did he do an MBA? Right? And so they're like, if he did not, so that's the example people normally give. But then I'm like, okay, he did not study, fine. But there are so many counter examples also we can come up with. We at SCI take a beach wala approach hota hai, that we say that entrepreneurship cannot be taught. And then you will say, if it cannot be taught, तो आप लोग क्या कर रहे हो? बंद करो टीम, जाओ घर पे अपना अपना खाना खाओ, सो जाओ. Right? But we cannot teach you entrepreneurship. But as Peter Drucker says, entrepreneurship can be learned. And anything that can be learned, the process of learning can be facilitated. The process of learning can be accelerated. Something that you could learn on your own in 2 years, right? With somebody's support, somebody's help, somebody who's been there, done that, who understands the ecosystem. The same thing you can learn in 6 months. He cannot teach you, but he can make sure that you learn. It's like, you go to, like, you want to learn music, you can learn to play guitar, amazing guitar in 2 years or 1.5 years maybe, right? Or 1 year on your own through YouTube videos. But if you go join a guitar class, probably the same level of expertise that you would get from YouTube in 1 year, if somebody was there to guide you, sit with you, somebody who knows how to play guitar, probably will help you learn the same level of guitar in 3 months. Or maybe 2 months as well, right? So that's what the role of all the people like me, Dr. Nidhi, Professor Uday Patkar, Professor Yogesh. That's our role, not to teach you, but help you accelerate that learning curve. You can move to the next slide, please. We're still on that slide. I thought again. Yeah. So I just mentioned in the last slide, that businessman versus entrepreneur. So now the question is, what is the difference? What makes somebody like an entrepreneur? Now, when I say entrepreneur, when Professor Yogesh is entrepreneur, right? For us, entrepreneurship is not about business. It's all about mindset, right? And there was a newspaper cutting also that was displayed in one of the introduction. If you saw the Times of India, they picked that as a headline that said that entrepreneurship is a mindset, right? So for us, it's a mindset, and that mindset can be adopted and implemented, right? And by anybody, irrespective of whether you're an entrepreneur or not. You could be a faculty member with the mindset of an entrepreneur. You could be an NGO worker with the mindset of an entrepreneur. You could be a housewife, but who has a mindset of an entrepreneur, right? You could be a watchman, you could be a CEO, you could be a team leader, project manager, assistant manager, you could be a supervisor, whatever job role you get into. But that mindset, if you have, and if you work like that, if you remember the first slide that Professor Yogesh talked about Harvard education research, that people who were exposed to entrepreneurship were found to be more faster and successful in their career. It was because of that mindset only, right? So what makes that mind? So there are 6 keys. I think this slide I stopped sharing, but anyways, I know all those points. I don't need the slide anyways. The first element of being an entrepreneur mindset, right, is curiosity and observation, right? Being curious and observant. And the problem with us is, that we look at things around us, we don't observe. इतने challenges हमारे साथ में, इतने issues है, कहीं पे there is waste lying, कचरा पड़ा हुआ है, vaccination का issue हो रहा है, virus से people are facing problem, online lecture में there are so many issues coming up, right? We see those problems, but you don't observe. We are not curious, and curiosity is about 2 things, right? It's about asking why and asking why not. Why this? Why not this? Why does Microsoft Teams have the feature like here? Why does Microsoft Team have the mute button on the top right corner? Why not on the bottom left corner? Right? Why does Microsoft Team have only these 3 features on the top, and why everything else is in the drop-down menu? Right? Why is the feature of Together Mode not directly on the screen? I don't know. That curiosity has to be there, and from there you'll find out issues, challenges, problems, right? So that's very important for us. As kids, we are all curious and observant, but as we grow up, for some reason, I don't know, that curiosity dies. And it's very important. Again, I'm saying, irrespective of whether you want to become an entrepreneur or not, curiosity is one skill that's going to help you. Even in your interview, if somebody is curious, who's observant, they ask you a very simple question. Just one thought that coming to my mind. I went to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited ka interview back in 2011. I was a fresh MTech candidate. I wanted to work with some good company, Defense Minister of Defense ka Institute hai, HAL, and somehow out of 15,000 plus candidates, this shortlisted 220 or 210 interview ke liye I went, and that I was already teaching a symbiosis back then. I was teaching theory of machines. People from mechanical background would relate. So उसमें concept होता है 4-bar mechanism and all. Now when I was sitting in the interview over there, the interview went for 1 hour, and they started asking me, okay, what's your favorite subject? Obviously, I was teaching the theory of machines, so I said theory of machines, and they started asking about 4-bar mechanism, and they said, can you give us an example of a 4-bar mechanism? Now there are like 15, 20 standard examples in the textbook of theory of machines that I had studied, I had taught in the class. And I could have given any of those examples. Car wiper mechanism hota hai, ye mechanism hota hai, आपका door hinge mechanism hota hai. A lot of standard mechanisms that are available in the textbooks that we teach in the class. I could have answered any of them. But somehow coincidentally so happened that while I was traveling from Pune to Bangalore, I was in that train, and in that very journey, I noticed that train के अंदर, I don't know how many of you have noticed this, right? How many of you have studied theory of machines know this? कि आप जब train में जाते हो sleeper या AC coach में अंदर, बीच में ना between those 2 buses there is a platform kind of thing. This way, food, you can keep your food, you can keep your water bottle side, and that's foldable. And when you need it, you fold it, becomes a table. Then you fold it. That wooden plank goes, and it becomes parallel to the side wall of the train. Now, what enables that folding and mechanism? If you look at down there, that entire linkage is a 4-bar mechanism. It makes a 4-bar mechanism. And I was just observing that on my way to Bangalore before the interview, and coincidentally they ended up asking the same question. I could have given any of the example. I said, sir, my favorite example of 4-bar mechanism is something that you see in the train. And that guy was so impressed. I said, I have asked this question to like 50 plus candidates because all of them are mechanical engineers coming up. You are the first who has given an answer that is not in any of the textbook. And ended up getting the job. Did not join, that's a different story. The point I'm trying to say is, whatever you're talking about here, Professor Yogesh also mentioned that even if you don't want to become an entrepreneur, these are the skills that will help you land a good internship, a good job as well, and also help you get promoted, help you go higher in the ladder of corporate progress after your placement as well. The second skill set is moderate risk taker, right? A person with an entrepreneurial mindset is somebody who's a moderate risk taker. We don't talk about high risk taking. Very high risk taking is gambling. Gambling is where I do not have any control. I go buy a lottery ticket, right? I don't have any control on the outcome. Somebody who's going to take that lucky draw number, if my number comes in, I'll get the money. Otherwise, whatever 100, 200 rupees I've spent in the lottery ticket, that's gone. That's gambling. Entrepreneurs do not enter into gambling. They do not indulge into things like that. They, of course, like challenges. They, of course, take up projects and ideas where there is risk. But they prefer the risk to be controllable. That, okay, there is up to 20%, 30%, 40%. I can control the risk. I can reduce the risk. I can mitigate the risk. There's just something in my hand through research, through my study, through understanding with the users, through whatever I can do, through my preparation, through learning new things. I can to some extent control that risk. That is what an entrepreneur wants. So while they are willing to take risks, but they also do calculated risks. So that is very important, right? Then comes ready to experiment. My favorite thing, right? Always, entrepreneurship, I say normally, is a journey from experiments to experiments. If I have to explain that life is nothing but a journey from experiment to experiment. Every other day you're doing an experiment. This very session that we are doing, this collaboration we are doing, is an experiment of sorts. Right? If you are not open to experiment, you are not going anywhere in life. right? Because experiment and risk taking go hand in hand. When I do an experiment, I don't know what the outcome would be. Experiment outcome could be positive, it could be success, it could be failure. In fact, experiment outcome has more chances of failing than the chances of success. Because if I'm confident about succeeding, it's not an experiment anymore. Experiment bolte hi us cheez ko hai कि when I'm trying something for the first time, I don't know what the result would be, right? So we have to embrace that comfort level with experimentation. Then the fourth point is you get disturbed by problems around you. And when you say about getting disturbed, it's not about grieving, it's not about complaining. No, society is not doing this, that the municipality is not doing this, my college is not doing this, my HOD is not doing this, my chairman is not doing this, Modi ji is not doing this, and the chief minister is not doing this. No. Look at the problem and you get disturbed and say, okay, whoever was supposed to do something about this, they may be doing something, they may not be doing anything. I don't care. What is it that I can do to solve this problem? There's a problem of garbage in my housing society. The society chairman is not doing anything. Let him not do anything. Is there something that I can do? There's some issue that the students are facing in my class. The head of the department is not doing anything. Fine. Can I do something about it to help them? That's the mindset. Now tell me which company, which organization doesn't want an employee who has this mindset? That who, instead of blaming everything on the college management or everything on the organization, everything on the boss, the employee who says, okay, whatever is wrong, can I do something to fix this? If you are selecting an employee, won't you want an employee like this? Won't you want an employee who is ready to do experiments? Or would you prefer an employee जिसको आपने 9 to 5 जितना सैलरी दिया वो आके बैठेगा और उतना ही काम करेगा, right? Fifth one, entrepreneurship is a team game, right? So you need somebody who gathers team support. And when I say team, the reason I mentioned team is because there are two aspects of being a team: team leader and team member. Now, we normally talk about leadership, and leadership is so overrated. There are team leadership workshops, leadership development programs. Everybody wants to become a good leader, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody wants to become a good team member. That's the problem. Because no matter how amazing the team leader is, if the team members don't know how to be team members, right, the team is not going anywhere. So as an entrepreneur, you need to understand both. At times you will be the driving seat. At times you will be the leader. At times, even if you are the CEO, but your finance guy tells you कि sir ऐसा करना है. Even if you are the founder, but your marketing person tells you कि sir नहीं strategy ऐसी होगी. Then in that domain, if you don't understand marketing, if you know nothing about marketing, you hire somebody for as a marketing manager, and if he tells you कि sir ये strategy approach करना है, right? At that time you have to let him be the leader, and you have to be a good follower. You cannot say I am the founder, तो हर बात मेरी ही चलेगी. Right? That's the problem we have in a lot of corporates, a lot of bureaucracy, sometimes a lot of institutions as well. And finally, problem solving attitude, right? If I see a problem, rather than complaining about it, I always look for solving a problem. The question I want to ask you is, right? And in the chat box, or unmute if you can let me know. Imagine 10 years down the line, right? After 2, 3, 4 years, depending on what year you are in right now, 2, 3, 4 years you'll graduate, become engineers. Probably some of you will go for higher studies, do your masters, MBA or MTech or MS, whatever. But then after 10 years, most of you, I'm sure, most of you would be in a good position, at a very high, some reasonably good position wherever you are, whether in your own business or if you're working with some MNC or corporate, right? You would be maybe a senior manager or general manager or a vice president or deputy manager, whatever it is. In that position after 10 years, if you have to select some candidate for to be a part of a new department that you're creating, if you're, let's say, creating a new startup, or your company is creating a new department, new section, and you are heading that, and you are given the responsibility, you select the team that you want, right? And you want to select the candidate, and you have two types of candidates in front of you. One who is domain wise very strong. So whatever domain it is, अगर आप software company है, it could be architecture firm, it could be civil engineering firm, it could be electronics firm, whatever it is. So one candidate who is very strong in the domain has a GPA of 9 out of 10, 90% marks, and a degree from a very good institute, maybe IIT, NIT, things like that. But his mindset is very rigid. Right? In the interview, you figure out that this guy is not curious. He does not know usko kuch pata nahi hai, apart from what it is in the books and textbooks and what has been taught in the class and the projects and the research that he has done in that IIT. He knows nothing apart from that. Right? This guy has never taken the risk in his life. From this CV, you can figure out. Okay, this guy has never done anything that in his life that shows that he can take risk. This guy has never done experiments in his life. He will only do what is given. जो syllabus दिया है, जितना बोला है टीचर ने क्लास में, वो सारा अच्छे से किया है. But अब उसके बाहर never done anything. Right? This guy is not a good problem solver, and you figure out that this guy is nothing on his CV shows that he's a good team player. Never been a part of a sports team, never been a part of a college club, never been part of a project team. And through the interview also you can figure out that this guy is all about me. He's not a good team player, but he's very good with the domain skills. And the other guy does not have 90%, has 75% marks, 70% marks. Not from an IIT, NIT, from a very average college. Right? But from his CV, from the interview, figure out that this guy is so curious and observant. He does not know a lot of things what's in the syllabus in the textbook, but he can relate whatever he knows in detail. He can relate it to the practical life. He's curious. He knows what's going on out in the world and how it relates to his field. You can see from his CV and interview that this guy is always willing to take some risk, trying out new things, experiment with new projects, play around with new ideas, right? And he's also somebody who can work very well with a team, right? Always he's been a part of sports clubs and a lot of other stuff. Which of those candidates would you like to hire or select for the team? If you can type in the chat box, I can give 30 seconds quickly, right? And even if you don't type, I've been doing this, asking this question across the country to students. I mean, more than 10,000 students have asked this question. And in my experience, almost 80-90% of the times you get answer that I would hire the second candidate who's not so good with the GPA, 75%, not so good with the domain skill, but with the yes, who's if is a second. And the reason is because if the candidate is not is 75% skill है उसको वो नहीं आता पाइथन में एक्सपर्ट नहीं है कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसको मशीन लर्निंग कोडिंग नहीं आता कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इसका माइंडसेट सही है इफ इज रेडी टू एक्सपेरिमेंट वो सीख लेगा 6 महीने 2 महीने में कोर्सेज करके यहाँ से वो सीख लेगा तो स्किल सेट्स दैट यू कैन टीच बट इफ हिज माइंडसेट इज रॉन्ग that is very difficult to change. So my next question to you is, if 10 years down the line, if you were on the selection side, you would prefer somebody with a little bit lower domain skills, but a good entrepreneurial mindset, right? If you're going to be preferring that, who do you think that the person who's going to recruit you 2, 3, 4 years down the line when you go for your campus placements in your final year, what kind of a candidate that person is going to be looking for? Is he going to be looking for somebody in your class who's total nerd and just 90% but nothing else? Or would he prefer somebody with 70% but who brings all the other characteristics? And that's what we want to develop through this collaboration. That's what we want to develop through your innovation concept and things like that. I hope that makes the case for what all we are doing. And that is the reason Professor Yogesh mentioned in the beginning, that irrespective of what you want to do in your life, this session and think the sessions like this, whatever entrepreneurship innovation topics we cover, is going to help you out. We can move on to the next one. Do we have any questions so far? Yeah. So with that, I again hand it over back to Professor Yogesh because that's his model that he's going to talk about.
Yeah. So I'll share it back the screen. Just give me a moment. Yeah. As it is Teams, takes some time. I hope you can see my slides again back. Right, Ismail?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see.
Great. Thank you so much. So we are just putting a model, like a lot of theory or GAN we had been through in the last 25-30 minutes. So let me just share something practical which everyone can practice. And I'm just trying to invite you to practice this, which we are trying to practice. So there is a situation in almost every city, every big city of India. Even the small cities are having these problems. There is a situation like traffic, roadblock. We are a country like, we are not a developing country. We are a country under construction. I say that. And since my childhood, I see this town which I used to say, it was under construction. Now Pune is under construction. The whole India is under construction. So we are under construction country and we see these kind of very common problems there. But what is actually a problem there? When you see these kind of vehicles, auto rickshaw, taxi drivers, they don't have water, they don't have food. You are sitting at the backside in the car. You are hungry, 1.5 hours, 2 hours blocked in traffic. You are driving the car, you can't stop for even tea, coffee. I mean, that's the problem I face in Pune also. Not only in Mumbai I face, but in Pune also I face that problem. Yeah. And shopkeepers, normally the shopkeepers on these kind of road, they don't give business in the peak hours because peak hours are completely flooded with traffic. People don't stop their cars or auto rickshaws or cabs. So this is the situation and problem I'm trying to pose in front of you. And is there an opportunity? Yes, there is an opportunity where we can feed these people. It can be social or commercial venture. If you do social, there will be so many questions. There are few people trying it. It will not survive for long term because who will fund continuously and people will get. Means there are so many legal and socio cultural issues which might come in picture. But we can have a commercially viable venture, and there is it's available. You have to look at hygiene, cash, logistics, how you will transfer because already traffic, how you will reach there. Yeah. So solution in respective cities, you can actually say affordable, hygienic, and already popular snacks. Why affordable? Which normally that's how we are India, cost sensitive market, and people would say, okay, I'm reaching home in half an hour. Why should I buy something which is very costly? Hygienic, of course, means the overall hygiene quotient of the country has improved. I don't know how it works, but yes, people are looking, especially when we are talking about traffic in cities. So in cities, the people who are traveling in these kind of vehicles, means normally they will say, okay, whether it is good, whether it is clean, neat, and already popular snack, something like you say vada pav in Mumbai, and that's how I brought this example. So if you see, is actually a picture of actual box somebody is trying to sell in Thane called Traffic Vada Pav at rupees 20, where you get a very small water bottle, one tissue paper, and a vada pav, which is already popular snacks, in 20 rupees in a packed box. And there itself, in that 2 kilometer area of his stall, this fellow is trying to have 5, 6 vendors, 5, 6 boys, like delivery boys, and they are trying to sell this there. So means there are problems. We can keep talking about problem. We can keep cribbing about the problems, and we can talk a lot. Yeah, we can create a scene, but we can also at the same time, instead of entering into all those things, entering into politics, calling or blaming the whatever situation, we can actually make money. And that's how I call it SPOS model. So are you doing SPOS? That is my question. Situation, problem, opportunity, and then developing a commercially viable solution. Yeah. Another thing, another example, that situation we have to touch, open, close, so many things. Like last year, 2020, when we first faced this virus, we were not aware about the nature of the virus and the behavior of the virus. आजकल बिंदास्त हो गए लोग. Uh, but still, actually, we don't know anything biologically or chemically how the virus behaves. Uh, but last year, when we came out of house, when we were asked to operate from office, we were really scared. And I bought a product called uh, what do you call? Uh, it's a product which gives me a feeling that I am not getting exposed to the infection. I'm not purposely telling you the name of the product. So in this situation, an engineering college student came with an idea, and who is not an IITian from a normal, and he came with a product, and he saw the product, that how we can avoid the risky touch, and this is the product. It's actually a photo on my table, and the product is safe key, which is made of brass, whereas brass is antibacterial and antiviral, where the COVID virus, he has referred to some research papers. I have those access to research papers. I spoke to the founder. His name is Zaid from Bennett University. He's not from any IIT. And he manufactured this key, sand casted out of brass. The mechanical heads or mechanical engineers in this uh, group will understand what is sand casting. And you can see the shape of the key, where we can avoid the touch direct, and we can use this for opening door, even car doors, lift, bank ATMs or so. And people use this product. At that time he made money, and a lot of people copied. In fact, he was copied on Amazon, and he filed a patent also, and there were so many issues he faced because of the copy on Amazon. So when something gets copied, that means it's working. It has value in market also. Yeah, so this is POS: situation, problem, opportunity, solution. Every aspect of life we can do, but we should try it once. Means that is what I'm trying to invite, which we missed in our engineering days, for so whatsoever reasons, and we did it later on. That can you practice this, and can you maybe try to build something, try to sell something, try to make money for your living. And एक बार it's like that, एक बार उसका नशा अगर चढ़ गया, entrepreneurship is like that, then yeah, you like that, it becomes your passion, and then you go ahead. So I invite you to practice pause here, and I think that's the crux of this session, which yeah, I would like to see. So yeah, Ismail has added that it's a copyrighted material. The pause is our model which we develop. I'll say it's we developed. Yeah, yeah. I think means if anyone can answer this question by unmuting, it will be great. Uh, can somebody answer these questions? Sir, एक session. Oh,
Sir, there are two type of approaches that we can, two type of people who come forward. If uh, some people fail, they give the reason that maybe they don't have enough resources, or they lack this, they lack that, or do something, and the other person will simply just say that, yeah, I failed, and because it was an experiment, as Professor Ismail mentioned earlier, and I'll just try it again.
Yes. So normally there are so many means things we blame, and it's but natural. I also do that. You also do that. It's but human. Yeah. So when we fail or we are not able to achieve, what is that we blame? Anyone would like to add to this?
Lack of motivation and continuous development.
Lack of motivation, continuous development. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Anyone? कितने लोग जिंदा है? Okay. Let me show you. Do we blame these resources, especially engineers? I mean, both of us are mechanical engineers. Don't worry, me and Ismail. Yeah. So time, money, technology, family did not support, contacts ही नहीं थे, experience कम पड़ा, management नहीं हुआ, proper coordination नहीं हुआ. Yeah, हमारे time पे ये नहीं था. I was telling, Yeah. So we blame resources. What we are trying to invite you to think and uh, try upon to look at a different side. And there is this one of the world's biggest motivational trainer. He says it's not about resources, it's all about lack of resourcefulness. And what is resourcefulness? Resourcefulness is one of the most important characteristic of an entrepreneur. It combines all those six together. What Professor Ismail was trying to talk. Are you resourceful? And being resourceful means what you see on left hand side is creativity, determination, curiosity, empathy, passionate. Are you passionate about at least something? Passionate about Sunday walks, passionate about clicking photos. Yeah. And do you make resolutions and do you work on it? Do you have long-term goals and short-term goals? That is very important. And that's how you become resourceful. And that's how you connect people. Many times we look at immediate outcomes and it's a kabhi nahi hota hai. Yeah. You have to water the plants in the soil means पत्तों पे पानी मार के एंड मेडिसिन डाल के फूल नहीं आने वाले हैं. Outcome will come in a different way at different times. You have to put a lot of efforts, and it's all about resourceful. Are you resourceful? That is what I'm trying to invite you. Again, I think last few uh, insights. So it's not only about entrepreneurships. We are talking about entrepreneurial mindset within corporates, which Ismail already given example. That is called as intrapreneurs. Even corporates are looking for people who are proactive, risk takers, and innovative. And that is what I think these kind of sessions are relevant for everyone, and we are not opposite to the placements things also. Yeah, and we have been working actually at this center. We are in fact supporting some of the corporate innovation centers to build this mindset. Yeah, and we get paid for those kind of consulting assignments. I'm just trying to tell you something which is happening. And it's not new what we are trying to say. If you say one of the biggest entrepreneurship expert nowadays, Alexander Oster, whose business model canvas model we are following. In 2015, he wrote that even the corporate C-suite needs a chief entrepreneur. So companies, so along with your key technical skill, you have to build that mindset. You have to be proactive. You have to be moderate, calculated, risk taker, and all that. Yeah. Many times we believe when it comes from something big like IIT, IIMs, and all that. So here is I am Ahmedabad running the course on entrepreneurial mindset. That is what I think Ismail wanted to show. What we do here on the other side of Lovely Hills, 30 plus startups. I think it is becoming 35 now. Very soon, post Diwali, it will be 35. 100 plus women entrepreneurs trained during pandemic second wave. 100 plus faculty members trained, completely coordinated by Professor Ismail. Innovation lab, puzzle zone, IoT lab. This is the infrastructure we tried. We tried creating a co-working space, creative working place where people will feel like we can work from here, we can innovate. Which becomes the space itself becomes an enabler. Like you might have heard about 3M and Google offices and very nice offices. So we have got a fantastic office. You can come and see. In fact, I have invited Professor Uday Patkar and Nidhi Jain, along with your principal, Mr. Dr. Patil, that top 20 students, top 20 entrepreneurial minds will be given an opportunity for a day at incubator. Even top means the faculty members would be given and trained, uh, especially on this, because they are the enablers for taking the things ahead. So that is what we'll definitely wait from response from your institute, and the entrepreneurship cell and the student bodies can actually take it ahead. Uh, so Ismail sir, are we sharing the which video is there? Yeah, so we'll share the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's playing.
यही रास्ता है आत्मनिर्भर भारत।
Yeah. So we're inviting you to unlock your potential with SCI to all the faculty members and students here. Recently, we launched a program, Certificate in Entrepreneurship with Design Thinking, and I think the third batch is almost it's getting over on 31st August. And in future, whenever timelines, I think Professor Ismail has those timelines with him. Schedules are there. We might launch because this is something which activity we keep doing just to promote entrepreneurship in the region where corporates. We got a lot of requests from corporate professionals. Okay, can we again have this program and all that? We'll be happy to see you there. Means, I'm actually not talking more about the program because we don't sell as such this program, or we are not selling this program. Yes, it's a very, very different initiative which we started where Ismail sir spends more than 30 hours with the participants with activities. And I was just counting yesterday evening with Snehal, who is the incubation coordinator at SCI, that how many entrepreneurs visited in last 55 hours, because 55 hours are done now. Only 5 hours are left, 30th and 31st October. 20 entrepreneurs had interactions with the 31 participants. So that's the ratio, whatever we do. So we do it for a purpose of making people think of how they can innovate, how they can also be creative, because everyone can be creative, and how I can do it. That is what we are trying to take it ahead. Yeah. These are our contacts, email IDs. You can directly write, like somebody earlier also approached me. So my email ID is there, co@sci.org, and Professor Ismail's email ID because he heads our innovation and linkages. I think that's all we wanted to say and discuss and invite you to think on new things. Student teams can work with faculty members to select top 20 students for having a day at incubator or so, where you can enjoy and have some fantastic time with us. That's all. And I think thank you so much to Dr. Patil and team here for making it happen finally. We are approaching Diwali festival, and I extend my best wishes and very happy and prosperous Diwali festival to everyone here at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, and to your family and friends. And with that, I think would like to see some entrepreneurial minds post the festival in the coming year in 2022. That is what I would like to end this talk from my side. Thank you so much.
Um, Thank you so very much, sir. That was a wonderful insight of all your hard work and Professor Ismail's hard work that you have done till now and created such a platform for not just for us but also for the other people that you interact with. So that was a really wonderful insight, and I'm definitely sure, so the aim that was for this collaboration, for this MOU between the two colleges is definitely fulfilled in the coming future. And we see a lot more entrepreneurs, not just from the other side of the mountain but from this side as well. And by your support and your guidance, I think the e-cell of Bharati Vidyapit Lovely will definitely try and build up more startups. And once again, sir, that was a wonderful insight from Professor Ismail and you. And sir, just I have one question before we move on to the later stage of the session. Is that, sir, you mentioned a very key point about the entrepreneurship skill set, coming in very handy for the corporate world as well. Those students who still think that they don't have that resource, or they are not still able to take that first step in the risk taking factor of doing their own startup, but these skills can help them in the corporate world as well. So, sir, what would be the first step in their corporate journey as a fresher, to take up these skills and to show it to them, because when we go as a fresher, all the companies just expect us to be trained by them and just do their particular project work. So how do we stand out and how do we stand in front of them, that showing that we have these skills and we are more than capable of for you to transferring us to your R&D cell, or your upcoming
Working
sectors
on
of
some new projects. So
yes, sir.
simple
Yes.
answer is during their engineering they should work on some new projects, new ideas, because a lot of technology is being taught and there is quick access to the devices and components in market nowadays. You have good computerized labs, your workshops. So create something, develop something to solve day-to-day problem in my office space, in my room, bedroom, home. Create that prototype, implement, bring that, show that to people that I have worked on this. People will laugh at you. Good. People will ignore you. That's also good. But you get an experience of doing it. Yeah. And when you
Okay.
make money out of it, same people would be behind you. They will not laugh at you. They will share the stories on their WhatsApp. So we have to decide on which side we want to be. Unless we do it, unless we do it, execute it, it is very difficult to advocate it or to showcase it very positively and aggressively to someone. If somebody goes and says, "Sir, I am proactive and I am risk taker. सर मैं कर लेता हूँ, क्या किया तुमने? नहीं सर, आप देख के देखो, मैं कर लूंगा। नहीं, आज तक कुछ किया तुमने थर्ड ईयर फोर्थ ईयर में? नहीं सर, मिला नहीं, मतलब टीम नहीं था, किसी ने सपोर्ट नहीं किया ना, आई कुड नॉट मेक अ टीम, बच्चों को इंटरेस्ट नहीं था सर, मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्ट था, आई एम वेरी पॉजिटिव, बट वहाँ पे सर उस कॉलेज में सारे स्टूडेंट्स बहुत नेगेटिव थे। आई थ्रो दिस फेलो आउट ऑफ माई केबिन, या इफ आई एम टेकिंग इंटरव्यू। So I hope you understood what I'm trying to say is that
Yes,
you have to
definitely, sir.
show, you have to do something. It fails, passes. I don't know. I'm not telling people upfront that if you ask this question to some successful entrepreneurs, I'll tell you other side. They will say, okay, fail fast. But see, second, third year, fourth year engineering के बच्चों को fail fast समझ में नहीं आता है. That's why I'm trying to explain in this way. Fail fast is the funda. That is what entrepreneurs are inviting. Means करके देखो. Anything means I'm not telling you कि rocket science build करो, इसरो को, नासा को help करो, भारती विद्यापीठ लवली और सिम्बायोसिस यहाँ से ड्रोन चलाओ, मैं ये नहीं बता रहा हूँ. What I'm trying to tell you, look at your bedroom, look at your study room. Have you created work from home, school from home, college from home के लिए कुछ किया क्या? कुछ नहीं किया लोगों ने. एक किताबें रख के उसके ऊपर लैपटॉप रखते. Somebody made these stands. They're selling on Amazon and at what prices? I know companies in Pune, they made crores of rupees on this. कुछ किया घर पे बैठ के. Yeah. So that is what I'm inviting. कुछ करो, decorate. Yeah. ऑफिसेस में कुछ करो, अपने ऑफिस स्पेस में कुछ करो. इट्स अ बिग बिजनेस. वर्क फ्रॉम होम के लिए, कॉर्पोरेट्स के लिए बेचने के लिए, हाउ मच मनी पीपल मेड, यू नो. सो इंजीनियर्स शुड हैव बीन डूइंग दैट. मींस व्हाई नॉट. ऑल इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस के वर्कशॉप खुले थे ना. गवर्नमेंट वाज कॉलिंग, मींस टेलिंग कंपनीज, और सारे कॉलेजेस बुला रहे थे. व्हाई आवर वर्कशॉप डिड नॉट सेल सम इक्विपमेंट्स टू एटलीस्ट आवर ओन इंस्टीट्यूट्स? या these solutions. I don't see that, and that is the I think the action, or that is the entrepreneurial mindset or entrepreneurial nature required, and that's where the top management willingness, commitment, and that's where faculty should also be like that, and they should be encouraging all odd ideas, maverick ideas. हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है, we evaluate and criticize very early कि नहीं, कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा, फोकस ऑन जॉब, प्रिपरेशन कर, तुझे क्या करना है, ऐसे थोड़ी होता है। या मैंने पहले ही बोला कि हम पत्तों पे थोड़ी ना मेडिसिन डालते हैं और पानी डालते हैं कि फूल आने चाहिए, सो पानी कहीं और डालना पड़ता है, फूल कहीं और आते हैं। या दैट इज व्हाट आई विल से।
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I'll definitely take away 2 points from this. That was, just seize the opportunity at the right time, and just entrepreneurship is not about, as you said, go and create a rocket for NASA or ISRO. It's just the small things can make you big on the entrepreneur scale and business. So yes, thank you so much, sir. That's it from my side. And now I'd like to, invite Professor Prajakta Pawar, ma'am, if she could please come forward and. Give a vote of
Can I
support.
add something like Prajakta madam before
Ma'am, just
sum up the session?
if I can intervene for a moment, I just wanted to, just because, just one point from my side, that we have shared the feedback form link in the chat. Snail has shared, I copy pasted it again, second, right? So for all the participants, we would request that you please go and fill the feedback form. And that would help us in two ways. One is that we get to know, right, where we did good, and we have, as entrepreneurship educators, because as startup founder also, we tell people that every time you launch a prototype, you launch a new version of your product, you should always be worried about the feedback. So this we also keep experimenting. That is one way it helps us. Second is, we keep on doing a lot of initiatives, a lot of programs, which some of them are free as well, right? A lot of workshops, webinars. Of course, we'll do some with the institute, but some we do at SCA level as well. And we of course, share that information through the formal channels. But kabhi kabhi hota hai, that message does not get passed on in time. So if we have your contact details, whenever we do some good program that you could benefit from, you will get a direct email from our side, right? So that's another way. So just please make sure that you fill it, and comments के अंदर मैंने email ID वगैरह भी सारा डाल दिया if anybody wants to connect. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to add something in this program actually, and I saw that one question means like the question from Huzaif. I just want to add in that question. See, like I saw Huzaif from last 4 years, and like you are just asking about the questions, what skills we need for being a success in any of the field. So what I felt from means like from your example, you see like that, like whenever we are giving any task to you, what you like generally I saw that whenever we are giving any opportunity, you just exploit that opportunity. And if I tell you to organize, means like whenever I am telling you, when I was telling you some program to organize, I saw that wholeheartedly you do the program and you organize everything. You arrange for the mic. If something is not working, you do, means like you I saw that you did from the top to the bottom every work. So that is why we keep on delegating so many work to you. And like you can see by yourself that you from one or two from every month in one or two programs you are like working as a anchor. So working as an anchor, and so many times you're organizing the event. So what I just want to tell you that like whenever anything is delivered to you, if you take a full responsibility of any work without telling that this is the problem and this is the this thing is not working, then definitely people keep on delivering you more and more work, and you are getting more and more opportunity, and you are getting more and more responsibility, and in this manner you can prove more yourself. Like I always saw in my career, like this is the only thing of success. So that I want to tell you that, and you can see your example also. So this I add, like sorry for adding this special lecture. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Over
Thank
to
you so much.
Prajakta ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for that insight, ma'am. And yes, now I'd like to invite Professor Prajakta Pawar, if she could please come forward and have her say on this session and formally conclude the session with a vote of thanks, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Really, it was for my wonderful system. Actually, it was to impact system. Be department I would like to
Ma'am, I think there seems to be some net lag. Your voice is. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you're back online. Yes, ma'am. I would like to request if you could please start from the beginning, ma'am, because there was some network congestion from your side.
Okay. On behalf of Department of Computer Engineering, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, I would like to extend a vote of thanks to our today's guest, Professor Yogesh Brahmankar sir and Professor Ismail Akbani sir. It was a really wonderful and informative session, and also it was very motivation for our students for to think about this particular entrepreneurship as their career path. So thank you so much, sir, for finding out time from your busy schedule and conducting this session. Thank you so much, sir. Also, I would like to thank our principal sir, Professor R.M. Patil sir, for their motivation to organize such webinars. And also, I would like to thank our head of department, Dr. Uday Patkar sir, for continuous support to organize any event in the college. Thank you, sir. Along with this, also, I would like to thank all the faculties from BBCOL for their support and participation in their event. Also, I would like to thank Snehal Madam from SCI for her support webinar. And most importantly, I will also like to thank all the participants, our students, for their patient listening and being interactive during the session. And not last but not the least, I would also like to thank Jose for conducting or coordinating this event. Thank you, everyone. Again, I would like to mention that this session was very much wonderful, Professor Ismail sir and Yogesh sir. And in future, we'll also would like to have more such session from your organization. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you so much for that, ma'am. And on the note of that vote of thanks, I would like to thank you all once again, and I would like to conclude the meeting and announce that the meeting has been concluded. So thank you everyone for joining in, and hope to see you all soon in the future. Thank you so much, everyone. You may all leave the meeting now. Thank you.